Rick, how you doing?
Hey, Carbs, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good to see you. Look, there's no secret. You guys are making your money, you and Brian, this year. I think you're down to like the right guard number 4 or something the other night. Just take us through how this has gone for you guys, almost from the start. Moving, Barton around the left tackle, and just all those different maturations. How difficult that's been, and just how have you been able to navigate that?
We're fortunate that a lot of these guys have been with us. Charlie going back to the spring, and we had a whole off season with him, and then really with Graham. He was the contingency plan at left tackle during camp. We tried it out a few days, and then as it progressed, you saw his athleticism come to life, where it could be a weapon for us. And we all talked about it and discussed it, and thought with Mike's experience at left guard, Brett's some of his experience at center, that it wouldn't be too big of a disruption for us for all 5 guys up front, and thought that ultimately it would give us the best chance.
And you guys have had a lot of success this year. I know Josh wanted to be able to throw the ball down the field. That's not always possible early in the year. Obviously, you guys are trying to get it out, but that takes protection. So, how proud are you of the fact that that Baker and those guys have had the time? They talk about it all the time to look down the field and hit those shot plays.
Yeah, certainly proud of that, and proud of the commitment the guys have made to it. We put a lot of time into it, and it hasn't always been perfect. It's still a work in progress. Still trying to get better. That protection, as it relates to whether it's play pass protection, normal D&D protection, third down protection, all those things. And yeah, like I said, the guys take a lot of pride in it, and it certainly helps. It takes all 11 when the running back's been a part of the protection throughout the course of the year, and the runners have done a good job with it. Receivers getting open, the quarterback getting out on time. So it certainly takes all 11 to do so.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Generally.
Hey, Coach. First off, echoing what Rick said, congratulations on all the success that you've had with these guys. I'm curious. I remember when Elijah and Luke had stepped in, and early on in that game, they had both been penalized pretty heavily. And for you, from a coaching standpoint, what was key to kind of getting those guys to be able to settle down and be able to handle the moment the way they did?
Well, I think it starts with those guys and their maturity and their ability to just fall back in their training, move on to the next play, and learn from the previous play, and then apply it to the rest of the ball game. And that Jets game, they settled in, and we were fortunate that we were able to get back on track in some of those situations. And those are unfortunate, but they're part of the game, and we got to, in those instances, just apply our techniques and fundamentals. But yes, to your point, they did a good job of moving on to the next play, and then it's a long ball game. There's a lot of plays left, and you can't let 1 or 2 plays early in the ball game affect later on in the game. You have to have a quick memory at this position.
That was really impressive to see. And then if I can follow up, when you are so shorthanded and you have guys that are stepping in and sometimes playing new roles, assuming new roles, as we saw early in the season, what has that been like for you with Josh Grizzard in terms of formulating game plans each week based on, this is what I think our guys can handle. This is what I think we can handle maybe this week.
Exactly right. Yeah, our communication is constant throughout the course of the day, throughout the course of the week, and certainly when we're putting a plan together, be it the run game, the protection game, the screen game, we want to, just like I said, put the guys in best positions to be successful and give them stuff we can handle. At times we haven't always done that. There have been times that we like, as coaches, we'd like to have a play or 2 back, and but like I said, we move on and learn from it and move on and apply it to the rest of the game or the next game plan. But the whole staff is in constant communication with one another in terms of putting the plan together, getting everybody on the same page, and getting the guys ready to play the best we can.
Thank you.
Evan Winter.
Hey, Coach, just going back to Graham Barton real quick. Obviously, played a lot of tackle in college, but you took a year off, played center, obviously, in the NFL on top of that. just how unique of it is it to see somebody move from the inside like that to the outside? Or does the experience that he had in college kind of mitigate that without taking anything away from him, obviously?
I think the experience in college certainly helps. I don't think it mitigates it. I'd say the most positive thing about Graham in that instance is that he never flinched. And, like I said, we repped it through in camp a handful of times. And then when we decided to make the decision, he didn't flinch and just said, all right, let's do this, and got ready to play against two good fronts in Atlanta and Houston, both on the road, which certainly presents some challenges. And then both of those outfits have really good pass rushers. And so, he never flinched and just fell back on, hey, some of the things he did in college, which he did well, and then apply some of the technique and fundamentals as it relates to pass pro at the tackle position. And then some of the run techniques and fundamentals, there's some carryover there, but it's still certainly different, though.
We'll go to JC Allen. If any media have questions, please raise your hand.
Hey, Coach, along those lines with Graham, being on the outside and then bouncing back in it, he's had two of his best games in pass blocking the last 2 weeks. Is there any correlation to that from playing outside where, he's on an island there to what he's been able to do back at center?
It's certainly, things happen quicker at the center position, and, he has to process things quicker at the line of scrimmage as it relates to making calls and getting everybody on the same page. But, of course, there's less space inside, which probably serves as an advantage going from tackle to center because things happen so much quicker and it's tighter quarters inside. So in that regard, I'm sure it's, in some instances, been a little bit of a relief having to be on an island out there with all that space at the tackle position, and then inside, with two guards next to you.
Right. And then with Dan Feeney, how has he progressed since he came in here? Obviously, with Haggard going down, there is that spot at right guard. Is he someone that you think could potentially fill in that spot?
Dan's been progressing great. Dan's a great pro. Some guys I know around the league that have had him at previous stops all spoke very highly of him. And Dan's doing a good job for us, working in at center and guard. And we'll see how the week shakes out. Like I said, Dan's been a great pro and he's been a good addition to the room for sure.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Hey, Coach, Baker's escapability is pretty well known.
Yes.
He's had some great plays. And he's also this, and I don't know if this is true with every quarterback, right? They're all close to their offensive line, but he seems to be an adoptive offensive lineman in a sense. What's made him sort of mesh with all those guys? And man, they must be cognizant of the fact that this guy's never going to quit on a play, that you got to keep blocking 6-7 seconds, whatever it is, right?
For sure. Yeah, to answer the last part, yeah, you have to strain and pass protection because, yes, Baker's going to keep plays alive and move his feet, and so we got to strain through the down and keep moving our feet in protection and find ways to stay fit, and every inch matters. If you could just bump a guy past one way or the other, and then stay firm in the pocket. Because like I said, he'll find a sweet spot in the pocket to either make a throw or scramble. And then I just think everybody, not just the line, just respects his competitive nature, his demeanor, the way he is with the team. And I think it speaks, our old line room, we have a great group of guys, and they get along with Baker. And it's, but we get, it's not just the quarterback position, it's all the guys on our team all get along well. But I think certainly, I think there's a natural gel between Baker and the offensive line in those regards.
For sure. Thanks.
Last question from Jenna Lee.
Hey, Coach, you've had to get so many guys ready for big moments this year. I'm curious, what's been the most gratifying part about all this for you as a coach?
Oh, well, just, every week's a new week, and, you come in and try to get the guys ready for the next opponent. And just whoever was playing, these guys prepare hard in the meeting room, on the practice field, and just certainly just proud of the efforts of these guys all the time. But like I said, I mean, it's a hard-working group of guys that get along well. We work hard in the meeting room and on the practice field to get ready. And so, for me personally, just enjoy being around the guys and getting to work with these guys for me is my favorite part of the job.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we have. Thanks, Coach.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.